This one.
Let's go live. Let us go. Let us rap go.
Lettucerap.com.
Indeed. Lettuceraps.com.
No, Indeed.com.
I'd rather have lettuceraps.com. That's just me, though.
What would be on lettuceraps.com?
There you go. I'm better in frame. Lettuce wraps.
No, would it be like lettuce the vegetable, or would it be like people submitting their own 2-verse raps? It's like the TikTok of just rap.
I think
Like 10-second,
if you were to go,
and it's just called lettuce wraps, but it's spelled like lettuce and then like the sandwich wraps.
I just think you go on lettuce wraps and you just see photos of lettuce wraps. You don't know if they were user submitted. You don't know if they're professional. You don't know if they're stolen. Just lettuceraps.com.
Look up if there is anything on lettuceraps.com.
I know, true. We shouldn't be actually we should be withholding these secrets just in case any of the Move Troop wants to steal lettuceraps.com and my brilliant idea.
We're live right now?
Of course we're live. Yeah, whoa.
Freestyle lettuce wrap.
From PF Chang's lettuce wraps. Now, I did lettuce wraps plural. Lettucewraps.com takes you to a PF Chang's wrapping contest.
I mean, I would not have guessed PF Chang's owns that website, but I do like that my idea was picked up by PF Chang's. It's freestyle lettuce wrap contest.
Interesting. Okay. Well, apparently
I should be in marketing.
it's already been this was a 2019 contest.
And it's still up.
2019.
The whole reason that website's still up and like being hosted is so that whoever won that could like flex and send that out to people.
Probably. But I'll tell you right now, lettucewrapsingular.com. Lettucewrap.com, not taken. So we can have lettucewrap.com. Ooh, what about lettuce wrap with a Z?
No. It's 290s.
All right. Well, let me remove the W to see if lettuce wraps.
It should be just a gif of heads of lettuce wrapping.
No, it's not a site either. Wow. Good job, PF Chang.
All right, let's get the show on the road.
I'll give you that one.
I got stuff to do tonight.
You mean dinner with me?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta share it first. Yeah, that happens. It's a lot of dead air after we talk about lettucewraps.com. I just shared lettucewraps.com. All right. All right, so now that that's shared, we can officially start the show. Bro, whoever is texting us is going nutty. All right. All right, so we're going to start. Let me pull up the agenda. Hey, Matt.
Kenny.
So your place, every time I come over, I was setting up in the studio, and the desk felt a little wet.
Yeah, I just wiped it down.
And you're proving my point here. Because why would you need to wipe it down when we have our friends at Her Majesty Services who could clean it for you? Because you know if they cleaned and wiped down this desk, it wouldn't be wet. They would make sure that it is nice and dry. Jennifer and Ashley over at Her Majesty Services can get your place professionally clean. Don't do what Matt did and just leave a giant glob of water all over the desk.
I don't think there was a giant glob of water, but I like how you trapped me. You set the trap into a full-on commercial.
I'd like to think you set the trap by leaving the water all over the desk.
Because I knew that you were going to be doing this commercial.
And that's why you're the business department right there. Go check out Jennifer and Ashley over at Her Majesty Services. Get your place clean. They also do businesses. They also do move-ins and move-outs. So if you have a construction site, they can clean that too. They also offer handyman services as well. So they have some people who, if you had some, light handyman services while they're cleaning up, they might be able to, maybe hang that photo that's been kind of sitting in the studio for quite a while. They can do some pressure washing as well. So check out Jennifer and Ashley over at Her Majesty Services. They are an amazing client. In the meantime, enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 acknowledged wonders of the world. You are about to witness the 8th.
I will say I appreciate the Move Crew. They are very interactive during times where we don't do podcasts. They're texting us, they're emailing us, they're on the Facebook page. Well, hey everybody,
Yo,
this is episode 82 Moves. I'm Kenny.
Matt.
80 episodes. That is, if we did one episode a year, that would be 8 decades of episodes. Do you ever think about that?
Or since we started around 2020 with COVID, it'd be just about going on 3 years worth.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for joining us. You can interact with us in many different ways. Obviously, I talked about our Facebook page where we are streaming live. All of our episodes will be streaming live there. We also go on YouTube. You can also text us at 347-MY-MOVES and email us show@2moves.com.
People getting active on that text service. Apparently.
Exactly. Just right before the show, we had a 646 number. Let us know. It's a pretty big thing that is happening. I don't know if you know this. There was a news story where, there's this lady at a baseball game, and she's doing the normal selfie thing where she's doing like the pursed lips, the peace sign, like a lot of Instagram-y type of photos and stuff. But what is actually being in the news is as she was doing that, there were two women behind her that were kind of mocking her. They kind of see that she's doing
they were
Instagram
photobombing.
post. But see, they weren't just photobombing. They were photobombing and kind of making fun of her. Like they were imitating her. I'll put this over to you. They were imitating her like poses. They were imitating her faces. They were basically doing it, and she recorded it and she put it on TikTok. And she kind of put the caption. It's like, "Hey, watch my confidence disappear when I see these two girls kind of making fun of me."
That's not something that I would say they were necessarily making fun of. They may have been partaking in just trying to get a laugh, with her, not at her.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll show you the video. It really does look like they are mocking her. And that's where the controversy lies, is that a lot of people are actually kind of hating on the two girls because they're like, well, okay, yeah, she's doing the Instagram thing. She's kind of, doing that. All right, whatever. But the fact that, they're flicking off the camera. They're just doing a lot of goofy stuff. And it's more than just photobombing because I think, there's photobombing in the sense that, oh, goofy face or thumbs up or, monkey face, you know what I mean? Like those goofy sort of things.
I'm watching it intently. They're definitely getting involved.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, because I know when I photobomb stuff before, it's in good fun, and then I do it once and then let them take their photo.
Exactly. Or you do it just to get their attention. You know what I mean? But they're kind of going a bit hardcore with that. But anyway, they're getting mocked severely online. They're actually getting blasted. So a lot of people are even trying to track down who these people are. And kind of blast them and dox them, if you will. So it kind of brings up the ethical question. On the one hand, okay, people are obviously mean online. People are obviously making fun of them. But do you really need to blast them and just be like, oh, these are the worst scums of the earth, kind of thing?
Yeah, because when you turn the entire internet on somebody, that's like a whole level of overkill, right? There's no, unless you're doing something horrible, there's no reason to have the internet looking for you. This does not rise to that level.
But then it goes to the whole thing where it's like, all right, well, then, do they have what's coming to them? If you're going to do something like that,
but that's the thing. When you have the whole internet, someone will find out who they are and then just completely destroy their whole social media with directing thousands and thousands of people to them. And that's not what should be coming to them. Yeah. They're idiots. Someone should just, say, hey, that's not cool. But that's it.
Exactly. So, it's an interesting moral dilemma in the age of social media. And then also being shared, apparently people are finding whether they're real or whether they're not. People are going nutty sharing.
Finding fake foods
so
for us
there's
to try.
Doritos tobacco flavor.
There's no way that I didn't even think about whether they're real or not. But now that you mention that, the Doritos tobacco flavor that cannot be
exactly.
real.
There's also the Big Mac flavored yogurt. Again,
I'm not a fan of yogurt to begin with.
Yeah,
a lot of
these are spoofs. Now, Shannon chimes in there and talked about the strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. Now, that might be interesting because I know Dr. Pepper has a lot of weird and different flavors.
The thing about Dr. Pepper, I like cherry Coke, but there's something about Dr. Pepper mixing with any type of fruit or something.
Yeah.
There's like cherry Dr. Pepper, vanilla Dr. Pepper. You mess up the formula with Dr. Pepper. There's no other variation.
Yeah.
You cannot change that. Don't.
No, listen, I get it, but have you ever tried even like the cherry vanilla or any other flavors?
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
Okay. Well, and then a couple of more goof ones. We have the Hidden Valley Ranch beer.
That can't
Although
be
to be
really
honest, we had ranch soda a couple
You
of
think
shows
someone
ago.
made Hidden? You really think that Hidden Valley Ranch would license out that to a beer?
Who knows? And then last one, someone did a Mountain Dew moon pie.
That's got to taste disgusting, but I would try it.
But I was like, it's a very citrusy type of thing. I also did an impromptu poll. If you hear the music lyrics "Stop," what would you finish it with? Is it "Stop Hammer Time," "Stop Collaborate and Listen"? Some people actually put up "Stop, Drop, Shut 'em Down, Open Up Shop." That was a really good one.
Yep.
I like that. "Stop, Children, What's That Sound?" Everybody, look what's going down. I love your answer.
Stop this podcast.
Yeah, just end this podcast.
Unfortunately, there's no song that has those lyrics.
Yeah, but well, apparently there needs to be because probably the best answer. Anyway, you guys can definitely join in on the fun on our Facebook page. Text us, email us, and all that. We do have a lot to cover in this episode. We know it's been a bit.
We have a
since
great
our last one.
hypothetical as well at the end of the show, so stick around.
Calling your shot. All right.
I'm just trying to
So
promote something.
both you and I recently received some text scams.
The scam, the text spam
Actually,
and
it wasn't
scams.
even a text. It was via email.
Yeah, but it's just across the board. The scams lately that people are getting are insane and just so frequent. Like, you cannot go a week without getting like a call from someone trying to tell you like, "Hey, I'm here to talk to you about your credit card debt," and then like you just know it's a scam.
Yep, exactly. Well, you and I both got something via email. Now, what's funny is email-wise, it's not as prevalent anymore as it used to
Right.
be because I think it's all transitioned to to texts and
Yes.
phone calls. Well, you and I both got a separate email, but they were very similar. The one I got is,
Let's just get the gist of
it
it.
was from someone named Tracy, and basically they're blackmailing me because of my hideous interests.
Right.
And if I don't send them Bitcoin to a specific address, it works. But here's the phrases that really got me.
Right.
First,
it's
it's
really
like,
off. You just know that it was converted from some other language.
he goes, I think that $1,255 is fair for you. And I'm like, that is an oddly
Well,
specific
how about you start
number.
renegotiating with them? But I don't think that's fair.
That's true.
For my hideous transgressions that you refer to, but like the email is basically, hey, I've seen you do something terrible on your web. I've accessed your webcam.
I'll
I've seen you
basically
do
say this. It's basically they're claiming that I masturbated and they caught me on camera doing it. But so
Right.
here's the thing.
And it's-
He goes, you are doing incredibly hideous deeds instead of pursuing self-improvement. I'm like, wow.
Why not both?
Wow. Wait.
Why can't you do both?
I'm like, way to be judgmental. But then here's the phrase that gets me. Your vile hobbies, which I saw via your web camera, have
The
really
po-
impressed me.
But maybe he's talking about our podcast.
No, but your vile hobbies, which I saw via your web camera, when you jerk off, have really impressed me. And I'm like, okay,
That's a compliment.
So, are you complimenting me?
But no,
'Cause,
it's
wait. If they impressed you, why would I be threatened that you're going to release it? Shouldn't I be like, oh man, you know what?
I have a fan.
Listen, I never had the confidence to do this.
I
Thank
think
you.
I'm going to take the show on the road.
Thank you for letting me know that I need to share my gifts. So that was my crazy email scam. You got one very similar that you screenshotted to me. Pretty much the same thing. And I believe that $1,288 is fair for you. And I'm like, where are they getting these numbers?
They're just punching it in, man. They're just hoping that you said something.
Well, yours
But-
had really, it was fun. Goes, listen, you need to take advantage of this opportunity and solve the issue with less bloodshed.
I didn't even remember reading that.
And I'm sitting there,
but
I'm
yeah,
like-
but yeah. So I got a text, and it just basically claims the same thing, or an email or whatever, claiming the same thing, that they've somehow accessed my web camera and making some crazy claims, and then they want money like as blackmail.
Well,
and it's
yeah.
like,
It's just weird that
I know you're a fucking scammer, bro.
like in mine, they were talking about me doing some dirty deeds. With you, apparently you've murdered someone on your web camera, and in order to reduce the bloodshed, give them some crypto. So I just thought that was weird because obviously there's been other ones, and Erica in our chat brings up a good point. It's like sometimes they find out your family member's name and they'll
Right.
actually send you something so you think it's from a family member, or they'll be like, oh, Bruce is in trouble, emailing
Right,
to you or
right.
something, and you're like, oh wow, they know this. So I get kind of how people can fall for those. But something like this, which is so terribly written in English, and then something where one, it talks about reducing bloodshed, or you know what,
But
you
again,
doing that
what
impresses me.
Who wrote this? Is it like the typical or traditional whatever? Is it someone in
Like India or Africa or something?
yeah,
just a
like
foreign
and
country?
that's like what they're writing in their own language is appropriate for like that community, and then when they translate it into English, it's so over the top. Like this is some African warlord, and he's like, hey, bloodshed is just a normal thing I usually say in my everyday course of business. So he's just getting into the scamming business,
which-
and that's just a normal email that he would normally send.
You know what? That could
Like
be
he's just texting his buddies, like, "Hey, you guys up for some weekend bloodshed?
Yeah, or-
some hideous,
or it's
villainous conduct."
It could have just been like, hey, man, this weekend was rough. So much bloodshed. So much. But you know what? I was not impressed at watching someone jerk off. I'll tell you that right now.
And so, hence, $1,826 seems appropriate.
It is odd.
to blackmail.
It's odd that both of our scams were in the $1,200 range.
I want to see some. I want to know who's getting the email where they're saying like $3,000 is appropriate, because I want to know what they did.
Ooh, is it
Bloodshed is apparently not is not that expensive.
Is it bloodshed jerking off? Because that might double the price. But here's the thing. They give you a crypto address. So, like, could you...
We should just request one.
Yeah, that's what I'm
we
saying.
We should try that.
And then what if you just play dumb? It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And just see if they accidentally send you money. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. We should...
Every day.
The old Uno reverse card on them.
Every day request money from them.
Well, someone brings up a good point in our chat. It's like, sometimes you can use AI voices in order to mirror people. And that actually brings me to, I was in Nashville the other day doing a corporate conference about artificial intelligence. And it was in Nashville, so they wanted the country music feel. They actually wanted to do country music AI voices. So the people that they decided to do were Dolly Parton and Johnny Cash, which I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash being dead, which is weird, but they wanted that twang. So I was investigating and I was doing it more, and I'm like, you know what? If you just upload good chunks of audio from celebrities, you can essentially create an AI robot like gift bag that can say anything you want it to,
You
which
can
is
create your own cameos.
super creepy. So what's weird is, I was exploring this for work, and I was like, how could the show benefit from it? So I actually have some AI voice samples for you here.
Is this of us?
Yeah. Well, no, it's of some famous celebrities.
Okay. You made
Hello,
this.
this is Johnny Cash, and you're listening to Two Moves.
That's pretty wild.
I know, right?
That's pretty wild.
So, and then here's the other.
Was this
one.
free?
No, you do have to pay for it.
Okay.
But it wasn't that expensive at all. Here's another one.
This is Dolly Parton, and you're listening to Two Muse.
Okay.
She's drunk.
So
She's had one too many drinks.
it's not the best.
Who else you got?
There were some times where you had to, refine it. So that you heard the drunk two move. So you have to get them to say it, and sometimes you have to phonetically spell things out. And this was the best I could do without spending too much time.
This is Dolly Parton, and you're listening to Two Moves.
That's what I'm saying. But I got.
Are these the only two celebrities you got?
Listen, I'm not paying for more celebrity.
Who else do we have access to? I think we can find some in the budget.
We probably could, but we don't have the budget right now. So, but here's some other ones from Dolly and Johnny.
Well, howdy, Matt. This is Dolly Parton. Kenny wants to let you know to eat his butt.
And this is Johnny Cash. This message also applies to the Move Troop. Eat Kenny's butt.
Again, you can make them say anything.
Can we get some AI to just do the show for us? That would
Johnny, why do you think Matt is a lonely lawyer?
I don't know, Dolly. Maybe he should try to eat some fruit.
Apparently, they listen to the show, and they have some thoughts about the show as well.
The Chicken Nugget Challenge was an awful segment.
That's true. That was we
Very
we
good.
didn't score points with
Yep,
that one.
very good point, Mr. Cash. And then
I would like to invest in Donkey P Enterprises LLC.
oh, I thank you, Dolly.
But that was
I
a good
appreciate
episode.
that.
What were we trying to sell?
I honestly don't remember. we should listen to the show.
That's
I heard it's good.
just like the whole conglomerate that owns all our other ventures.
Yeah, apparently. But anyway, I just thought it was so weird that one of our listeners would would chime in talking about how AI can be used
Yeah.
to scam, and I was literally doing a show where I was able to manipulate
Well-
celebrity voices, and I'm sure you're right.
Well, have you seen or heard rather? They took I just heard recently that Biggie Smalls singing the lyrics to a Jay-Z song.
Yeah, I know it is.
And then they also did Drake and The Weeknd just made up a song, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, and that's what is getting super scary about it, because we obviously saw, what's weird is a lot of people did the deep fakes where you can take video and manipulate the video to make it seem like people are doing stuff, but there was inherently something like fake about it. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that it was a bit artificial.
Yeah.
But with voices like that, AI could potentially.
It's gonna get better. And look,
Well,
in all seriousness, the scams are going to get a whole lot better.
I was going to say it's not just that, but it's also one of those where it's like, oh man, how dangerous is this going to be? Where it makes it sound like Elon Musk approved something because you hear a voice that sounds just like him, and then if that develops.
Imagine if governments get a hold of this and can make it sound like a president's like gonna come out and sit and do something like declare war or something preemptively, and that gets out, and it was all just a fake,
I completely
or
agree.
just like scandalous stuff.
We have another
straight up
text
scandalous
coming in. Again, texts are coming in live. Someone just asked, just a very quick question off the top of your head. If somehow there was a box full of every lost item you've ever lost throughout your life, and there was a box of it, what would be the first item you would want to look for? If you knew everything you've lost in your life, you
That's
could
easy.
totally do it.
I'll let you go first though.
No, I want to know yours.
My dignity. I'd look for that one. I lost it a long time.
I should have
ago.
saved that for the end, then that way you can say I
Yeah,
said
well,
good day.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Yeah, well, I did. I'll be honest.
I want to know where our viewers and listeners went.
Yeah, I was gonna say for you, maybe your car keys, so you didn't have to deal
Car
with
keys is a problem, man.
so you didn't have to deal
Car
with
keys
that
is a
crazy tow truck story.
I promise you, I've lost keys at a friend's house and looked for years for these car keys.
Yeah.
In the couch and everything. Fast forward like 5 years, found it in the couch. Makes no sense.
I think I'm a bit too paranoid and a bit too obsessive compulsive to have lost something grand like that. I have lost my keys once at SeaWorld, which scared the bejesus out of me because I went back to where it was, like 5 minutes later, wasn't there. And apparently whoever did find it didn't return it to Lost and Found immediately. So periodically throughout
think
the
you
day.
told this story
Yeah,
on the
as I'm
show, yeah.
checking Lost and Found, I could, thankfully at the end of their day, they
Yeah,
decided to
yeah.
turn it in, which was kind of rude, but also
I want
appreciative.
to say I lose, like, I know I've lost, like, articles of clothing in some way. Like, I'm like, man, I used to have the shirt or these jeans or something, and just, I have no idea where they went. And, like, literally will lose them for a year, and then it's just like, oh, they were in this suitcase that I haven't used in forever. Or this one drawer underneath other stuff that I piled on top of it. It's like, didn't know that was there for years.
That is true, especially because, like, I'm sure there's stuff where it's like, oh man, where did I place, like these cufflinks? I had some really nice cufflinks, but I don't wear them much, so I'm like, oh, where did I place them? And then if I can't find them, I'm like, all right, oh well. And then you're right, a year later, I'll open a drawer and be like, there's where they are, and then I don't remedy it. I don't put it where it should be. I don't put it someplace, and then the cycle repeats itself. Then it will be like, where are those cufflinks that I once had? So it's weird, like those little things in life. But how many times have you lost keys?
Oh, it's can't say hundreds, but
Dozens?
Probably in the dozens, where I will have to go through all my pants pockets.
Oh boy!
Like for the past, like I'm like, I know I wore this yesterday. Gotta see if they're in there. All the normal places that I would normally put my keys, but where it ends up normally being, or end up being, is like, on some random counter. I'm like, oh, I was putting away. I decided just to put the dishes away, and I set my keys over here, and like I just never would do that.
Have you ever lost a credit card somewhere, and I don't mean your wallet. I mean like you did like a night of drinking, and then you end up the next day and you don't know where your wallet is, and then you have to backtrack. Oh crap! Where
But
did I go?
that's not so bad because you can usually just check go online and see where you last used it.
Yes, but then there's also the possibility of, oh wait, did I drop it somewhere, or did I use it at like one of those hot dog stands and leave it with the hot dog guy, and like that's going to be harder to try to track.
I know, like I think I told the story back in December. Went out to dinner, and had a drink beforehand and opened up a tab. I know for sure I gave them my card and did not close out. Called twice and they're like, we don't have it, and that was the only place I took out my card the entire night.
Yeah. Well, it
They're
could potentially have been like you
liars.
accidentally dropped it or something.
No, I refuse.
Shannon on our chat comes in saying women are constantly losing bobby pins. Like that's got to be something tiny that are just always lost. I always end up losing my chapstick. Like I end up having to buy a whole new stick of chapstick because I can never find it.
That's but that's something like I know I won't be using consistently, so I put it somewhere. I'm like, oh, I'll just save this for later. Never find it again.
And then Erica chimes in that Tiffany's earring lost in her apartment that she
jewelry.
currently lives in.
Yeah.
But here's what's crazy. Earring singular. Like, which means the other one is useless.
you
Essentially.
effectively lost two of them.
Yeah, except you have the annoying reminder that you only have one, and that you've lost the other. So that was quite interesting. But moving along, I would like to say, outside of the mediocre humor that you hear on this podcast, one of the things that you and I are best known for is trying and eating wacky things.
Yeah, I just want to say this, fairly new bit that we do. I'm happy that it hasn't gotten into we're taste testing like gross stuff, like inherently gross stuff. It's stuff that has like a cool spin, like
Let me say this.
like
You're
Mountain
right.
Dew moon pies. That's okay.
The things
I'm not
that-
gonna. Don't think we're ever gonna start trying what was that show with Joe Rogan?
Fear Factor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not gonna
you're
get
right.
like Fear Factor. We're not be trying eating spiders and shit.
Yeah, that is true. Like the things that we have been tasting are, in theory,
It's going to be gross, but we're not looking for disgusting.
but they're retail items. Like
Yeah.
you can, someone made
Someone
the
approved
conscious
it.
action to drive, as opposed to
Someone
you're right,
approved
as opposed to like Fear Factor, where it's like, oh, here's a donkey testicles that we dipped in dung, and I'm like, okay,
that's why we're getting these scam emails of the hideous transgressions.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right,
Too
so
much bloodshed.
what are we trying?
So, last show that we did, you went to Epcot and you had brought some international Lay's potato chips. So these were like potato chips, but they were flavored internationally. And I remember I brought up a comment about how growing up I would eat shrimp flavored chips. Now they're not potato chip. Well, they could be potato, but they were like shrimp flavored crispy chips essentially. And I grew up loving them. And I was like, okay, let me go to the Asian market in the Asian district and let me get some so I can show you a bit of my childhood because I loved them. But I know a lot of people hate them because they're
Do you
shrimp
still
flavored.
like them?
So, well, I haven't had them in a while, so we're going to taste
Okay.
them now. But as I bought that, I'm like, ooh, let me see some of the other wacky flavors. And again, these aren't like Lay's, like normal brand name
Yeah.
that just happen to have unique flavors. I'm like, oh no, these are really weird flavors.
Like legit from their own factory.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, I have 3 bags of them. We're going to finish with the shrimp flavored ones to save
Okay.
the best for last.
I
Now-
wish you had poured me some water, but I guess not.
Hey, man,
Let's go.
You're the one who lives here. So I avoided the ones that were intentionally gross. Like there's something called durian, which is considered like the world's smelliest fruit. Like
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't want to get durian flavored candy. Clearly that's just us barfing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So I got stuff that actually had flavors that you and I could, in theory, want to try, but maybe not think of in chip form. So
What do we have?
the very first one I have, I can't read any of these, by the way. It's all in some crazy foreign language. And this
Just
one,
going off the photo, what does it look like it could be?
well, no. I know what it is because they do have it in English because I think in order to sell it in the U.S. you have to have it. But I couldn't even tell you. So this is from Thailand.
Right.
And I don't even know what it is. But the cover of it, it says sweet and spicy with a chicken drumstick on it.
Okay.
So I'm
it's
thinking-
just chicken bone. It's chicken bone flavor.
And you know what? It could be. So we're going to try this. And it does look like, and it makes it seem like the chips themselves are little mini chicken drumsticks. But it's hot and spicy. I don't know what it is. But reading on the back, the reason I got this, I'm like, okay, cool. These are probably chicken, like spicy chicken,
Yeah.
right? But then it says drumstick squid, sweet and spicy. I'm like, where did the
Squid?
squid come in? Because
Oh,
There is a squid mascot fanning himself. I just thought that might have been the brand mascot, was just some
hopefully
squid.
not the flavor.
So let's check it out. I'm going to open this. Again, I've had none of these before, so I don't know.
I would love to find a flavor that we both enjoy and then stock up on.
You know, that's true.
I'm pulling for these. You know, I'm not hoping that they're bad.
I really like that sweet Italian meat. Cut that soundbite out. But those that Italian bolognese sauce. So I'm looking at them now. They do look like little chicken drumsticks. So I'm gonna hand you the bag while Alf tries to
Yeah,
eat
well,
some.
it's conveniently in the shape of dog treats in a bag that
That is true.
looks
Now
like-
here's the thing.
you have one, right?
No, I don't. I was gonna wait to you grab one. So
Oh, okay. Well, let me grab two of them.
so
They have there's another type of chip that these resemble, kind of like the
it's
consistency
like
of.
thick goldfish.
Yeah, they're like goldfish, but like glazed.
And the fact that it looks like chicken makes. Do you remember chicken in a biscuit? Like those crackers?
No, but let's
Okay.
get
So
going
we're gonna
on
try it. This is squid, sweet and spicy. These definitely don't have the texture.
These have some spice to them, dude.
Oh yeah.
We legit have some spice.
Oh
Now
but-
it's not like the chip,
yeah.
the one chip challenge.
I'll
but
be honest. I'm tasting the squid. I'm tasting that weird seafood flavor.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
Oh,
seafood flavor
not
at
a
the
fan
end.
of that.
it hits you with spice, and then there's that seafood
Yeah,
fish.
not a fan.
I don't know what squid tastes like. I've never had, but
Have you ever had calamari?
yeah,
That's not that. I'll tell you that. It does not taste like calamari.
it definitely look. I would not want to eat one of these and then like have to talk close to somebody.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I hate these.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the worst things we've ever had.
Those are. I mean, it's not gross. It's just
Oh no,
very.
I think it's gross.
I think it's unappealing.
All right, well,
Like I'm not trying to spit this out. Is this something like you would be spitting out?
I ate one, so I didn't spit it out.
Right.
But
I think when you cross the line into disgusting when like you cannot finish it.
that is true. You're right. I didn't spit these out,
It's gross, but it's not disgusting.
but I hate them. So the next one I have, we're gonna try this out. These are rice crackers. Now you've had like
based
talking about
on the packaging, I feel like this is going to be more pleasant on the palate
probably.
rather than shocking to the palate like the spicy
That's true.
chicken.
So have you ever had not the rice cakes, but like the Quaker little rice, like the mini rice
Yeah, yeah,
discs?
yeah.
That's what these look like already, and they're
Right.
already called rice crackers. It is an oddly specific 161 calories per serving, because you know like how they always like round off
to zero. Yep.
That's weird. But this is soy sauce flavor. Literally, the flavor of it is just soy sauce.
All right, if it's soy sauce,
So-
I might take back the pleasant taste of it. That
do
might
you not
be...
like soy? So you don't do
No,
soy
I like
sauce?
soy sauce. I just don't think it's going to be like a pleasant taste.
Okay, so these are
I think
rice
again.
crackers.
I think again, it's going to be like shocking to the palate.
I mean, possibly. But these are rice crackers that are soy sauce.
They smell like
flavored.
soy sauce.
And they really do smell like soy sauce. So I'm not getting that initial saltiness
Yeah,
that you get.
I don't think that they taste like soy sauce in any way.
They smell like soy sauce,
Yeah, they don't taste
but
like
they
soy
don't
sauce.
taste like soy sauce.
These
like
really
it.
aren't bad.
I like them.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I could eat these.
That's one of the best. You know what? You asked, I delivered.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't stock up on them, but I
You're right.
could eat these.
This is one of those. Have you ever gone to a party and they have the small bowl, not the big bowl of potato chips, but like the small bowl of like those weird sesame crackers, like mixed with some peanuts and stuff, like the little bar mix.
Yeah, yeah.
That tastes like if you put it in a small bowl
With,
and it
like,
was
other
the bar
stuff?
mix. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it would mix
Like
well
if
with-
you put this in a Chex Mix,
Yeah,
it
with
would like fit into a mix
You're
like
right.
that.
Like some little pretzels, some of those sesame sticks. Those aren't bad. I
All right,
like
so
them.
this is soy sauce flavor
It was
Japanese rice
soy
cracker.
sauce flavored Japanese rice crackers. You were gonna toss them at me.
I know.
and they were gonna spill everywhere because I was like,
Alf would have eaten them all.
I was only like 7 inches away from you. So, all right. So
All right, not bad.
saving the one for last again. I used to eat these growing up. By the way, I still have some of that spice in my mouth, and it's not good. Always with that. Always with that.
That's
So-
like the best radio sound.
So the last one I have, These are the baked shrimp chips.
So what do you remember these tasting like?
Weird.
Give me an idea.
Weird flavored.
But like, tell me why
Okay.
you liked them.
I don't know. I like.
Did you
me
eat
say
them with
this.
like another like
No,
did it
the-
accompany with anything? Or this is just
I
straight
would-
up by itself.
These are wheat puffed snacks, is what they're claimed. I just remember, like how if you packed a bagged lunch,
Mm-hmm.
how sometimes you would actually get the Ziploc bag full of chips or the Ziploc bag full of Cheetos.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have Ziploc bags full of this. So it's like this would just be the snack that would
And
accompany
like rationed out.
my ham and cheese sandwich or my
Okay.
peanut butter or something like that. And I guess for the longest time, I thought shrimp chips, but I never ate shrimp, so I didn't know what shrimp tasted like. So in my mind, I'm like, this is tasty. And they have the texture of those hot fries, but they're not spicy.
Okay.
But I remember eating this a lot as a kid. And when I grew up in college, I would go to the Asian district and get these, and I would share them with my friends, and they would say these are disgusting. And
So you should try it first, and you should just tell me, does it taste similar to what you remember?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say, it straight up says contains shellfish, parentheses, shrimp. So legitimately, they use shrimp somewhere in the process to flavor it. So we're going to see if young Kenny comes back to life here as I struggle to open these. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I'll tell you right now, they smell like childhood right away. They definitely have that smell that reminds me of them. So, again, they're in like puffed mini fry shape.
Yeah.
They're crunchy.
Like the
Oh, yeah.
the carrot, the puffed carrots, or the puffed
like the
green,
veggie
green
straws?
beans. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, these are.
And so it's everything you remember.
I could eat this.
Oh,
entire
let me
bag.
get one.
I could eat this entire damn bag.
Let me get one.
So you're gonna have some. And you're
Do
gonna
they
let me
smell?
know.
They smell like dried shrimp.
What are your thoughts?
Not a fan. I mean, it's not disgusting. I don't think I'd want any more.
Everyone. Seriously.
It's gross, but it's not disgusting.
So you.
I definitely could not eat. I would feel disgusted if I had eaten an entire bag.
Seriously? I don't know why. You and I think.
Oh, the after smell. The after smell. I'm telling you, it's like if you. This is what it smells like. You went fishing and you had leftover shrimp bait that you didn't use, and that's the tackle box of bait.
I don't know what to
That's
tell you.
what it
man.
smells. That's currently the smell coming out of my mouth right now.
I don't know what to tell you. I ate this growing up and I loved it so much.
Oh, it's disgusting. I feel like I just went on a like a fishing
A day at sea?
excursion.
It's so weird. Like, again, I don't know what to tell you because
Gross.
growing up, I would eat them all the time. I would still down the rest of that bag. And I'm not the type of person. I mean, you and I, we do have differing tastes.
Is this why you had the nickname Bad Breath Kenny as a kid?
How long did it take you to think of that one?
0 time.
Okay.
I just
Good
shot.
prop.
It was shot from the hip.
All right, good improv. Good improv. All right. Well, so obviously, I think you and I like the soy sauce flavor rice crackers. the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
Do you want one to like clear the
No,
taste?
no,
out of
no,
your
no,
mouth?
it's fine.
So between the shrimp
I'm gonna,
chips,
I'm gonna
which-
brush my teeth afterwards. so.
between the shrimp chips and the hot and spicy squid, what would you say is
The hot and spicy squid is
Is
they're both
worse.
bad. If I had to eat a bag of either one,
Yeah.
I would probably go.
Oh man,
That's tough.
this is like the Sophie's choice of terrible
I would
chips.
probably try and eat the spicy chicken one because the shrimp would just. I think I would probably throw up just from having too much of it.
Really.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it would. I think it would eventually, cumulatively start snowballing out of control, and then you know when you're trying not to throw up and you're thinking about it too much, and then you do. That's what would happen if I had to do a full bag of definitely that shrimp one.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, and I would think you would probably also go with the spicy one because after a certain amount of time, your tongue would probably get numb from all the spice, so you could finish the rest of that bag.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm throwing away the hot and spicy squid. I will eat not just
Go
the,
ahead,
the
man.
soy sauce
That's
ones.
all I need.
I will eat all of those shrimp chips, man.
Go ahead.
It is.
That's all you.
It is great. Is there anything from your childhood that you remember eating that as an adult you tell people and people are like, ew, that's weird, or whoa, what are you thinking?
Oh man.
Obviously, mine are the shrimp chips, but did you ever like have a weird food combination or anything that it's like, oh yeah, I like snacking on this, by itself?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Like there are the people that drink the pickle juice.
Yeah,
like
that's
like when they save the pickles
Oh,
out of the
that's
jar.
that's the first time I ever saw that was at the skating rink as a teenager. That they were selling pickle shots. I'm sorry, non-alcoholic, just like pickle juice and shots to the kids, and they were just like downing them. I'm like, why are you like literally? There's a pickle jar, sold all the pickles, and then they were selling like little shots of pickle juice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would anyone want to drink that?
Wow.
And it was just going. It was going like hotcakes, dude. First off, when have hotcakes ever been like? When have you ever been anywhere where hotcakes are just selling off the shelves? Where did that come from?
That is true. I'll tell you right now. In middle school, as a fundraiser, we got partnered with the Rockledge McDonald's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we would partner,
Yeah,
and
that-
we would
that's-
do.
yeah, I
it was
remember
the
that.
all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast.
Right.
That we would then play, and then go door to door selling that whatever, and they sold like hotcakes. I'm telling you
but like
right now.
that saying had to come from somewhere. Like where did the saying, selling like hotcakes? Because that's not something that you would traditionally think is going off the shelves.
Okay. So the phrase originated in the 1800s when the cornmeal version of hotcakes. So we think hotcakes.
We're thinking like pancakes.
As pancakes,
It's-
but and
it's
there's
not.
those. I've heard them also called Johnny cakes. Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have the cornmeal version. But what would happen is they were sold at churches, but because it was the 1800s, people would need to buy them up immediately before they went cold and got hard. So if you wanted them to be nice and soft and fresh, you would buy them immediately. So anyone who would make them would sell immediately fast because people wanted the hot and
Yeah.
fresh and whatever. So they would
Selling like
That's
hotcakes.
where they would sell like hotcakes.
All right, now
This is when we need the NBC, the more you know, like rainbow
no
to
one
fly
sells
overhead.
hotcakes anymore.
Well, McDonald's still does.
No, like the Johnny cakes.
Oh, you know what? I think that's probably regional.
Johnny went out of business.
Oh, sad. What do you think Johnny's doing now?
He's probably moving on.
Oh, I thought he was going to be at a fill-in station. I thought you were going to try to promote
No,
the fill-in
no.
station around the corner. I got people who move out of Orlando and say how much they miss that place. But what's weird is people in Orlando don't talk about it as much as people who left Orlando.
I have thoughts on that place. I'll fill you in after the off.
Oh,
off the
I
air.
already know your thoughts.
Oh, okay.
You and I have
All right.
discussed
Yeah,
it because
yeah.
I
Okay.
have tried to invite you to that place many times, but well, I guess they won't be a sponsor. But moving on, we have our new segment that we always do to talk about things that have happened between the last show and this. Of course, I am talking about what's going on.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, what's going on?
What's going on? Brought to you by our amazing sponsors, Amber over at Classic Man Cuts. I had to reschedule my appointment, unfortunately, but I'll be seeing her very soon to continue on my hairdo. And of course, Jennifer and Ashley over at Classic, not at Classic Man Cuts, Jennifer and Ashley over at Her Majesty Services. Our pre-show is about them, and I already forgot, so that's on me. They're going to get some extra love next episode. But check them out. They will clean your place. Spring is wrapping up. Finish your spring cleaning with Her Majesty Services. Matt, I have an update.
On what?
You know how last episode we talked about how Arizona Dairy Queen had their giant big red spoon stolen?
yeah.
It has been found.
Was it safe and sound, or was it unfortunately found off?
Well,
like,
here's-
off interstate.
Well, here's what's crazy.
6.
So the reason it was found, a 52-year-old dude was playing Pokemon Go and was wandering around this farm area around 7 a.m. It was just lying behind a fence that surrounds a middle school baseball field about 2 miles from the place. So, yeah, you can see the photo here. It's
Why
just-
not-
Just laying on its side.
Do you think that when he came across that, like he immediately was like, "That's the missing spoon"? Or do you think it's like, what the hell? Like, you don't know what that is unless you are familiar with the story.
Well, it came from the area. Michael Foster texted his wife. The first thing I did was send a picture, and it just said, "It's the spoon."
All right,
so he knew. Oh, he knew.
The whole town was abuzz.
So, a police sergeant said, I can confirm the Dairy Queen Red Spoon was located and recovered this morning.
What if this was just a ploy by that franchisee
To get attention?
to get attention?
Brilliant.
National.
Brilliant, then.
What could go missing with us, our show, that would make the show immediately go viral, up buzz in the news? Maybe if I go missing, or better yet, Livingston goes missing.
Why better? Why better yet? That kind of
Because it'll bring attention to the show. You know, two MOOF podcasters, one's missing, or were they just like if I went missing, they would just say attorney, local attorney instead.
You know what else it's going to bring?
the plane goes awry and it just gives like promotion and sheds light on the firm I work for.
Or Tucker just steps in and we continue the show without you. You know, if Livingston were to go missing, you know what it would bring? Some peace and quiet to the studio.
Happiness.
Well, so thankfully the Big Red Spoon has returned. I know a couple of years ago we talked about how there was like the world's largest gathering of people with the same name. There was like a record.
I saw that they're doing that again.
Well, it's a little bit different. The city of Kyle, Texas, is celebrating the names by trying to gather all the Kyles in the same place at the same time. A city it's called the Gathering of Kyles. Terrible name, but this is the best part of the name. It will be part of the Kyle Fair, a Texas extravaganza.
A Texas extravaganza.
Kyle Fair, a Texas extravaganza. That's going to be happening at Lake Kyle.
If the city of Kyle is near a metro area where there's just, easy to access. But if Kyle is in the middle of nowhere, Texas, no one's going to that.
That is true. Well, the world record for largest gathering of people with the same name, with the same first name, I should say, is Ivan. In 2017, 2,325 people. They want to beat it by one. They set the bar really low. They just want to get one more Kyle.
Ivan is like a really uncommon name, I feel like.
Not when you're in Eastern Europe.
All right.
I think when you're in Eastern Europe,
is that where it was?
Ivans are flying left and
Okay,
right.
all right. So that wasn't here.
Oh no! That was in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's where they set the record. So, hey, if your name is Kyle and you listen to this podcast,
it just seems like
go out to Texas.
John would be the easiest name to do this in.
Probably.
If you set it up in Central Park in New York and just said we need all the Johns in New York.
Yeah.
All the Johns to show up. You're gonna get a lot of prostitutes.
Hey,
Bam!
Not bad. You straight up peaked the audio. I don't think anyone's going to be able to hear that in real time. And then our final story. You know how recently doppelgangers became a thing. So obviously with the internet being a lot more prevalent, people are like, "Oh, I met your doppelganger. Oh, I saw someone who looks just like you."
I got a story on
Yep.
this. Go ahead.
Well, a woman in New York City, she's a Russian woman. She's been sentenced to 21 years in jail for trying to poison her similar-looking friend with a sedative-laced cheesecake. So she had a doppelganger, Victoria Nasurova, 47, attempted murder, assault, and other charges in Queens. Apparently, she was then stealing the other lady's identification and valuables. So because she had a doppelganger, she goes, I have an idea. I can steal that person's identity. No one's the wiser. Hey, friend, made you a cheesecake.
Isn't there a movie with Matt Damon about this?
Is
it Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yeah, Talented Mr. Ripley. Except he didn't really look like him. Because wasn't Jude Law the other dude?
I think so.
He didn't really look alike. All right, Bruce chimes in. Okay, I don't know where this is coming from.
It's
but I'm
because
gonna
of the spoon. It's because of the spoon story.
He must be delayed. So Bruce chimes in and goes, apparently the Marlins mascot, Billy, parachuted out of an airplane and lost the head of the costume, which is actually hilarious. They couldn't find it. So two guys found it near the Palmetto Expressway and returned it. That's actually, that would be good. Someone stole the Philly Phanatic's head. You know what I mean? And
Right.
the Phillies did a huge ordeal about it. That's actually not a bad
do you think
promotion.
sports teams how many versions of the mascot, costumes do you think like on hand in case like one gets damaged? Do you think that a sports team
I mean,
has?
I know the answer.
Go ahead.
About 3.
3.
I say about 3 because sometimes there are variations of it. Like, obviously, some mascots are gigantic. So if they have to have special clothes or something or a special outfit, that is its own ordeal. But yeah, there typically are 2 or 3 of the mascot uniforms officially to do that. And that way, one can probably be cleaned as well while the other one is doing that.
Okay.
It's really
And
trippy.
do they just send it off to like local dry cleaners? Or?
No, because that would definitely go missing there. And then, so that's what's going on, and we always follow up what's going on with our move of the week.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You little stupid ass. Wow.
I want to say move for the week.
You little dumb man. Wow.
All right, so this wasn't a YouTube stunt, but I know oftentimes, you see like Mr. Beast handing out money just to random strangers. This guy in Oregon, 38-year-old Colin Davis McCarthy, he was feeling really generous. So what he did was out of his car, he decided to drive up and down the city streets in Oregon, giving away $100 bills.
Ooh.
Just like, and some of them he just gave away handfuls and stacks. He threw some from the window. People were coming up to his car. He was handing it to them. It wasn't being filmed, and people were like, "Man, I guess this guy." Generosity, everything. And police investigated and goes, no, it's legit. It's his money. Like he didn't rob. It's totally legal. They said he gave around $200,000 as a way to quote bless others. That was his excuse. He just wanted to bless. Well, it turns out that his entire family chimed in and said, oh, this guy, he drained the entire family's bank account. $200,000 apparently was stolen from the family by the husband, which is why it came through not scam. But, the exact figure wasn't known, but they're thinking about $200,000 was a guy just taking all of his family savings.
If you were one of those people that got $100 or $200, whatever, do you make an effort to get that back to the family and just say like, I have to send something
if you find out after the fact that it was done because the guy's like swindled his family or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, so initially,
I wonder how many people are like, I got to turn this back.
So before it was found out that he had stolen all of his family savings, police were saying, hey, man, we don't mind you doing this. Just stop throwing it out the window because it's dangerous because people were running out into the street.
Yeah, it causes
in order to get it.
People go mad when that happens.
But he wasn't charged with the crime, but it is now just a family matter because, again, it's technically he's on the account. It's his money,
Right.
but it's his family. But his family is saying that they are now broke. All of our bank accounts are drained. And according to every interview, the guy was just trying to bless others. He didn't try to be like, oh, I found out my wife cheated on me or,
bless others, but also you screwed over your entire family.
See, and that's what's weird because clearly it has to be a mental issue. Clearly something mentally is wrong with him. But it's one of those situations where it's like, well, is it a mental issue or is it, again, did something happen in his family?
It's like he wasn't seeing right from wrong at that moment.
Potentially. Initially you would think, oh, maybe the guy find out he has like brain cancer and he doesn't have family. And he's like, listen, brain cancer, I don't have any family. You know what? It's going to end in a few months. Let me just give away my money. I'm like, okay, I can kind of understand that as sad as it is. But the fact that he has a wife and kids.
Or would it make a difference if he went and found, someone who wasn't, someone who's homeless and took them in, got them a new clothes, fed them, and then took them around the world. And it's like, one of those movies.
Yeah.
What's the movie I'm thinking of? Where like the rich guy, I'm sure there's a bunch of variations.
Brewster's Millions was one.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Richard Pryor. Yeah.
Wasn't there one with like Jack Nick?
There was the Bucket List.
Bucket List.
Are you thinking of that?
Yeah.
That's
because the one
interesting.
guy was, I forget which character it was, but he was poor, and the rich guy took him around.
Oh, Trading Places.
No, it's Bucket List.
Oh, okay. Well, there was Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. That was also another one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our move for the week, and we always move on to everyone's favorite segment.
I feel like this is going to be a rather quick one, but
Don't interrupt. No. Don't interrupt the flow. You can't just go
Oh,
straight
yeah,
into
there's a
it.
song that goes-
You can't
yeah.
just go into it.
Go
and,
ahead.
and in fact, this song has been requested. So we've
By
had,
by who?
by Facebook Nick.
Okay.
And then when Facebook Nick suggested it, a bunch of other people chimed in and said, yes, you should do that. Now, this request came in about 2 years ago. So I'm just now getting to it.
That's how backlogged we are.
Well, or lazy. But it was fun to do. I'll admit, like the song. So let's check it out. This is the Matt's Lonely Thoughts theme. Is he more than a lonely lawyer? He is lying in his bed, bored by his TV and phone, unprepared, asking tough questions, hypotheticals, wonder what Kenny will respond. He's a big old baby, and he also does any prove. Big old baby, and he also does any prove. Buy our merch, need money. Also go online and request a sticker, cause we're begging.
You have it?
It is the two moves, and it's your favorite bit. And move to beat is Matt's Lonely Thoughts. He is delaying the show, surfing Reddit. He's all alone, didn't mention he's a lawyer. It's the two moves, and it's your favorite bit. And move to beat is Matt's Lonely Thoughts. He is delaying the show, surfing Reddit. He's all alone, didn't mention he's a lawyer.
So
The good thing.
couple of thoughts. You know the range of your voice for the most
Oh,
part.
I know.
And you know how to tone it down an octave.
Yeah, definitely.
To where you can't follow up, you can't match Fall Out Boy.
No, Patrick Stump.
Number
hits
two-
incredible ranges.
Number two, I like that there were certain parts of the song that you can't understand, and you threw that into your version.
Yep.
where people mishear the lyrics in that
Yep.
song a lot.
Yeah, and what's great is because this is it was an emo song, didn't rhyme. It was the easiest one to write because I didn't have to rhyme nothing. I just wrote down all of the same 3 jokes that I put in every single one, and
they write themselves. You should get AI to write a song.
don't tempt me with a good time.
So,
All right, Matt, what's your lonely thought?
So across America, people every morning are in line at Starbucks. They got to get their Starbucks before they get on, before they start their job, before they
Yes.
get to work. People are in any day, right?
Yes.
People are.
Is your
late.
hypothetical?
No.
Do people
It's-
drink coffee?
No. People are 15 minutes late, and across the United States every day, that's thousands and thousands of hours lost.
Yes.
Because people are getting coffee, right? If we were to flip the script and come out with something different other than coffee that would wake people up in the morning, and they're like, hey, do you want to go get a Starbucks coffee? But instead it's, do you want to go get this? And we were to pitch it immediately to the entire, world, this is the new food or drink or
Yes.
whatever. What would you throw out there that would be the new morning wake up item?
I mean, the answer is cocaine, right?
No one's gonna go drive through.
Okay.
I'll take a venti cocaine,
No.
please.
Don't you dare say no one's going to do cocaine because everyone does cocaine.
But this is
So-
something new that people aren't doing to wake up.
Okay.
And so I thought of my mind's all over the place with this, right? I'm thinking in Back to the Future 3 when the Doc Brown needs to wake up, and so they make wake up juice. So they mix up a concoction to wake him up, and a lot of it's Tabasco sauce. So what if you were like, hey, we have the Starbucks now of Tabasco sauce, and people go and drive through, get their little shot of Tabasco sauce, just straight wakes everybody up, and they're good to go.
I still think my answer is applicable. You go in the drive-through, and literally they just give you like one little like. Have you ever done BC powder, like the aspirin that comes in like the little paper?
No.
Ah, damn it! Then you're not going to get it because like they just hand you like the tiny. It's a gum wrapper
Mm-hmm.
with a little powder, and it's like, yeah, 1 cocaine, please. They give you like the gun wrapper full of powder, and you just go, and then done on your way.
We can't be promoting drugs on this show.
Okay, First off, I think it was episode 3 where we literally had a sponsor that was promoting a drug.
But it wasn't illicit drug.
We don't know that. We don't know
We
that.
got to go back and
we
edit that
pulled that
episode out.
sponsorship fast. No, so in all seriousness, you talked about that.
Pixie sticks.
Listen, I was just about to say, okay, so we were talking about like how there's coffee with caffeine. You were talking about Tabasco sauce, get that shock. I could see
What
where
could shock the body into like waking up?
I could
immediately?
think something insanely sugary. Like, and I literally mean this in a physical sense, like a sugar bomb. Like, let's say you took a sugar cube, but somehow you're able to compact twice as many or 3 times as much sugar in the average sugar cube. Like, I don't know.
Say you-
Ant-Man were able to compress it, and so you get in there, one sugar cube, it dissolves in your mouth, and it's like the sugar
Bam.
explosion that you need.
Okay,
I think that could be good.
We might need to hit up some scientists and make that. That's a great idea. Like you condense down a Red Bull into a sugar cube size like piece
Well,
of ice.
A lot of people would claim that's what those 5-hour energy shots are.
We gotta make it smaller. We need it instead of 7-minute abs. We need 6-minute abs.
Oh, okay. So I think, but you're right in that sense. Or what if? Do you remember those like Listerine breath strips that were like those tiny little mini breath strips?
Yeah.
What if you had one of those? So you never.
And it's just straight caffeine.
Well, and not just that, you never had to go to the store. That's what prevents people from coming in late. You never have to go in the drive-thru. You could just buy it, keep it in your pocket, or like
you keep it in your glove box or your center console.
Or companies, because obviously companies have coffee machines in break rooms. Like when you walk in, there's the hand sanitizer dispenser, and then right next to it, just pull a tab, just pull a little strip, put it on
The
your
thing
mouth.
is, but people would take advantage of that and just pull like 3 or 4 at a time,
And
it'd
that's how they die.
And that's how they die. But the same can be said with coffee, man.
Same
you could just
could be
keep going
said
back.
with cocaine.
You could just keep going back. What about like warheads? Like
The sour-
the
yeah, the
sour
sour
warheads. Instead of going with the hot Tabasco sauce route, you go the warheads, super sour, like Sour Patch Kids, shock the body into waking up. Can you imagine waking up and just downing some Sour Patch Kids?
Well, there's a lot of them. When you're testing the flavors, they actually have like those little medicine eyedropper things of it. So like, what if like one on the tongue, and that's like the thing. Nicole in our chat times in like, yeah, the sublingual sugar cube. So you actually put it under the tongue and you just shoot straight in your system. And then
and then for quicker waking up, you put the sugar cube up your butt.
the sugar suppository.
Yeah, it's not even you're not even waking up from the sugar and caffeine. You're
It's
waking
just-
up from the uncomfortableness.
Well, then
of shoving it up.
If
your
that's
butt.
the case, why even shove it? Why not just be like, okay, hey man, just poke it, just one finger. You
Yeah,
get-
I need. Hey man, I need a pick me up.
Yeah, you get the finger condom. You get the finger condom, and it's a whoo. Erica chimes in. I guess on Shark Tank there were caffeine pastries. So like
Okay.
a donut that had 100 milligrams of caffeine. Now I don't know how that compares to a cup of coffee, but that could potentially be it too. Where instead of drinking coffee and eating a bagel,
Yeah.
what if the bagel already had the caffeine in it?
Okay, I could.
Although you'd have to wash down the bagel anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the quick on the go. Like you don't need to go through the drive-through anymore. People are going to be picking up a dozen caffeine donuts.
I think the
the Listerine idea is
either the Listerine idea.
We
or-
might need to look into this
or
more.
the tiny little sugar cubes. You know those ice cube gum, like that
Yeah,
shape, that size.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
one of those, especially because if it dissolves in your mouth, you can like suck on it, like it's like a lozenge. Ooh, caffeine lozenges. Those have to exist.
What's a lozenge?
Lozenge?
Yeah.
Like a cough drop is a lozenge. You've never heard the term lozenge.
I've never
before.
heard that word in my life.
You've never heard. You've had cough drops before, right?
Yeah, but I've never heard the term lozenge. I can't even say it.
Lozenge.
Lozenge. Still negative. Still don't know it.
You've never heard the word lozenge before.
Correct.
Like Halls. Literally every Halls product is a lozenge.
No, I get that, but I've never heard the word. It says it's Hall's cough drops.
They're lozenges.
Where does that word come from? You're not explaining anything to me.
Like
you just keep using the same word.
Do you want me to tell you the etymology?
What does it say?
Lozenge, a small medicinal tablet originally in the shape of a lozenge. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's a small medicinal tablet taken for sore throats.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
That
I'm not in the medical field, man. I don't know.
nor am I, but I've heard of lozenges before.
Okay, I believe you.
I don't know.
Look,
I'm kind of
let me just
upset
put
about
let me just put it
this.
like this: if we were playing Scrabble, I'd challenge that word.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I love the ideas. So that actually brings up Pepsi in the 80s, thinking, oh, to compete with coffee, we're going to come up with Pepsi AM. And it was a different type of soda, but they tried to make it like it was less sweet, but more caffeine to make it be like, hey, you can sip on this like a coffee. It sold miserably because people were like, well, if I'm going to drink a Pepsi, I'm just going to drink a Pepsi. Like, why would I buy this separate
So
Pepsi
what you need to do
AM?
is just make orange juice with caffeine.
Well, wouldn't that just be Fanta?
They've beaten us to the punch.
Well, yeah, so this was Pepsi AM. Like, you can see the logo. Like, it had like a sunrise almost type of feel to it.
You know, the marketing of that looks solid. It's just, just missed. People just weren't on board. That's a, go back to the drawing board, but it was really good. You get an A for effort on that one.
Well, listen, they brought back Crystal Pepsi. I don't see why they couldn't bring back Pepsi AM. Remember, they also do they still make Pepsi Max where it's just regular Pepsi but with like way more caffeine?
I don't know. I don't drink.
Nor do I, but I've
sodas.
seen it. Pepsi Max was a fairly
Anyway,
recent thing.
we got some good in the neighborhood eating to do.
Yeah, this was Pepsi Max. It was the black label that they had. And it was literally the whole gimmick was it's just regular Pepsi, but with more caffeine.
We know that caffeine is bad for you. We're just going to go all out. You might as well just accept it.
It reminds me of Original Surge. Like, when they brought back Surge.
That drink tasted great.
The late night, like, drink Surge now, not as good. But Surge in the late 90s when it was all sugar and all the caffeine.
It just had a great. You're doing it too much.
How am I supposed to do it? Oh, see, yours more
It's more
wet.
It's more smacking. Exactly.
Yours is way more wet. No, I'm doing the tongue. I'm doing the.
But you're sucking. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm going to leave you with this because this is.
Oh,
how
yeah.
it's done.
I watched that just the other day.
Yep, this is the guy.
This guy's eating ice cream.
He's a professional ice cream taster. He has a gold spoon because gold interacts with it better than others. This is how he tastes
So
ice
in
cream.
tasting, what we do is take a small amount right off the top. It doesn't take much. That's the warmest part right here. I'm going to invert the spoon.
Just listen.
Cover all 9,000 taste bud. Aerate it. Warm it up.
That's how I'm doing it.
Driving up that top note. That cream. Pure vanilla.
Wait for it.
Sweeteners.
Wait for it.
That's a 10.
See, he switches at the end. The whole time it's the wet sound, and then he switches to what you do. Just know when we go to get dinner later on, I'm going to do that. I'm going to describe exactly what I'm eating.
Okay.
When the server comes back and goes, "How is everything tasting?" I'm going to go. I taste the buffalo wings, the spin dip.
And it's like, let's get the notes. And then at the very end, you have to point at him. You have to be like, that's a 10.
That's I say good day. This episode was clearly not a 10. I said good day.
We're still live. That's
Good.
what
I just want to hear that sound in my headphones.
I ended the recording. All right. Facebook, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Yeah, you tell him, Alf.